let's talk money. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. So, we say on the SOSCAST, listen, I'm here to help you get paid, laid, and do it your way. Yes, a lot of that is getting you paid. Now, the problem with America today is the same continual problem that we've seen, but now it's gotten exponentially worse. Oh, no. So here's an article right here where Americans, 2/3 of Americans say they are falling behind. 2/3 of middle-income Americans say they are falling behind due to cost of living. If you scroll up, does it say where it says 2/3? There it is. 2/3 of middle-income Americans are falling behind. Now, here's what I've realized. Before I kind of get into the numbers today, that number 2/3 of Americans are falling behind, that number of 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, that's been the same number for decades. Oh. Let me give you some math. The top 10% are going to be just fine. Mm-hmm. The top 1% we know are going to be just fine. Mm-hmm. The top 10%. Now, the bottom 20%, what we call the welfare state, they're making no money, they're collecting unemployment, they're collecting food stamps, they're relying on the government. A lot of those don't have big dreams, big aspirations. They're just okay being poor, being broke. Now, the middle 2/3, that's a third of it right there, the middle 2/3, a lot of these people are living paycheck to paycheck. Why? And it's not a poor thing, it's a broke thing, meaning they spend more than they make, because a lot of them have never been taught how to manage your money, which we're going to talk about in a second. So here's some stats for you guys out there. 48% of people are cutting costs on or stopping savings. So basically half of people saying, yeah, I got to save more money or I got to cut costs here. 80% of households are cooking at home to save more money. Cooking at home. I had a friend cook for me recently.
Oh yeah.
No go.
It wasn't like
72% are dining out less, citing budget concerns. And groceries are up 21% since 2020. Here's what we also know. Since the pandemic, since 2020, households are spending on average $5,000 to $10,000 more a year. So if you're not making more and you're having to spend more, this is why people are going into debt. This is why people are basically saying, what is happening right now? Because guys, there's only two ways to have more money. You can make more or you can spend less. I encourage you to do both. Make more money and spend less money. And all of a sudden, that gap between what you make and what you spend will get wider and wider and wider. That will increase your savings and will increase your investments. All we talk is money. Now, here's some stories out there circulating the web about money. And there's going to be a message here, so stay tuned to the end, guys. California. There's a lot of things you can say about California. The crime, the regulation, the homelessness, the taxes. California is now saying, you know what? Let's get ahead of this personal finance issue and now make it a requirement to graduate high school. Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Thanks, Gavin Newsom. And I said, hold on, Gavin Newsom.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, Gavin Newsom. You can't be too... What's going on here? Because if you scroll down in the article, when did these courses start to take shape? Here it is. By 2030, 2031.
Damn.
So he's saying, hey, listen, guys, we're going to help you out, get smarter with your money in like 7 more years. You high school kids will learn about money. Now, here's what I can guarantee you. In school, it's going to be some teacher that probably doesn't have a lot of money teaching you about how to manage your money. And then she, more than likely, can't manage her money. And you're going to have to wait about 7 more years, kids out there, to actually learn how to not manage your money correctly by this teacher who basically has no more money. Stop me if you're getting the point here.
Yikes.
So you need to take the own initiative to say, nah, thanks, Gavin.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Let me figure out how to handle my money myself.
Right.
And by the way, we do this on Connect. If you want to get your money right, you want to understand how to finance, how to budget, how to save, how to invest, I do this on Connect. I walk you through the 6 principles of wealth, gamifying this situation. Connect with me, with PBD, with Tom, with Vinny, a whole host of people, Candace Owens, Chris Cuomo, they're all on Connect. But if you want to get your money right, if you're a guy out there saying, I need to get my shit together, you can connect with me on Connect.
Yes.
So you have to wait 7 years almost. So what I would recommend is, in the meantime, don't do what everybody else is doing. You know that most people are broke. Now here's what I'll tell you. You got to do the blue ocean strategy of life. When everyone is buying a house, maybe you don't buy a house. When everyone is spending $700 on a car, maybe you do an Uber. Maybe when everyone is going out to the nice restaurants, maybe you just cook at home because most people are broke.
Yeah.
Don't be like most people. Do things differently. Now, if you're a young guy out there that doesn't have kids yet, doesn't have a wife yet, and you're saying, listen, I have the opportunity to start making some money and figure out my life. I don't know. What are you saying? Here's what I'm saying. Before you buy a house, before you start driving a fancy car, before you start eating out at all the fancy restaurants, do a budget, get your shit together, understand income versus expenses, understand savings versus investments, understand where debt is moving your money backwards, protect your wealth, and have a bigger vision of your life. Here's what I'll also say. One of the things that I talk about risk and reward. Here's a little food for thought right here. For most of you young guys out there, if you're married with your kids, respect, there's a different plan for you. For you young guys out there trying to get your shit together, keep your flexibility high and your overhead low. Because you don't know what's going to happen over the next 5-10 years with AI,
Right.
with UBI, universal basic income, with the job, with the landscape, with the presidency, what's going on out there. Keep it moving, keep it grooving, keep your costs low, keep your flexibility high, and just stack cash, save that money, start investing, and basically be ready for anything. That's what's going on out there. So some people are saying, you know what, this guy actually kind of makes some sense.
Yeah.
Let me do things a little bit differently than most people. You know, in Miami, everyone is traveling this summer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to Mykonos, I'm going to Ibiza, I'm going to St. Bart's, I'm going to Bogota, Colombia,
St.
like our
Bart's.
friend. Just kidding,
Yeah.
she's from there. But some Americans are saying, yo, I'm not flying anywhere. It's too expensive. Here's Americans basically saying, I can no longer fly. So they're skipping their summer vacation to do what?
Work.
Save that money. 50% of people are not taking a vacation this summer, and they blame high living costs. Okay.
Oh.
Now, if you're paycheck to paycheck and you go on vacation, you're going to probably put that vacation on a
Hold.
credit card. Hold. You probably should put it on hold until your
Yeah.
credit card goes on hold. The price of an airline tickets have increased by 25% over the last year. By the way, you know, when you travel on the plane
Yeah.
and you go where you got to go, you got to get what is called usually a hotel.
That's
Now,
right.
the hotels are usually triple, quadruple the cost of what you're going to be paying for the flight. So unless you got a place to stay for free, save that money.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I don't know why they broke it down by political affiliation. 54% of Republicans
Makes sense.
and 43% of Democrats are avoiding air travel this summer due to
Oh.
high costs. So,
Interesting.
you know, I did a video a few years ago where I saw all my friends. Now, keep in mind, I'm maybe in a different position from some of you guys out there, but this still rings true. All my friends were going on the fanciest vacations. They're taking private jets. They're going to Mykonos. They're going to Ibiza. Dude, they're dropping 10, 20 grand for a few weeks in the summer. I said, yeah, but by the way, I've done that. It's not like I've been staying home, but I said, this is crazy talk.
Right.
What about maybe just staying in America? And I
Yeah.
shot this video over here of some of my thoughts. This was in 2018 or 2019 about what you should do to save that money for your summer travel plans. Go ahead. Hello from Mykonos. Behind me is one of the more beautiful sights you'll ever see in your life. Take a look. Actually, not in Mykonos. I'm in northern Michigan. You didn't see that one coming. Here's the point. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to go fly all across Europe to stunt on Instagram. Stay in America. Don't sleep on America. This beauty is here in our country for a fraction of the price. Save that money. Okay. God bless America right there. Don't tell me that I haven't been
I
proud to
love
be an
that
American.
video.
This is since that video was shot in 2018. That didn't just start loving America when I came to Valuetainment. I love America.
All the time.
Can I get an America?
Amen.
America. So you got to do different things and go against the grain. When everyone's zigging, you got to be zagging. When they're bobbing, you got to be weaving. So when everyone's flying this way, maybe you go this way. Listen, it's all about experiences, not about material wealth. And when you talk about experiences, nothing is a more expensive experience than a wedding. So
Wedding.
there's a lot of people out there saying, yeah, weddings? are freaking expensive. Here's this story right here where people are pivoting and doing things differently. The average wedding cost in America costs over $30,000. So some people are deciding to save that money, and they're having what is called micro weddings instead. So what's a micro wedding versus a traditional wedding?
Yeah.
The average wedding, as we learned, is somewhere between $30,000 to $35,000. That's
including
the
ring?
average.
That's including ring and dress?
No. The ring is separate.
Okay.
This is just the wedding.
Including the dress?
The dress is probably part of that, yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
The ring is different.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Yeah, that makes sense.
The average cost of a micro wedding is $11,000. So if the average wedding is 30 grand and the average micro wedding is $11,000, you're basically getting it 67% off.
Wow.
Talk about a buy one get one free. Not the wives, just the wedding situation right there.
Okay.
By the way, in order to save that money, micro weddings are limiting their guest list to from 100 people to as low as 25 to 50 people.
That's good.
Micro. You've heard of micro influencers?
Yeah.
These are micro weddings. 58% of couples are now cutting their guest lists by 41%. So they're basically saying, yeah,
You can't come.
so I love you, baby, but you ain't gonna come. But listen, we talked about why 2/3 of people are living paycheck to paycheck and are struggling in America. What's the definition of crazy? Just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So maybe you don't travel this summer. Maybe you stay in America. Maybe you don't get a big, crazy, fancy wedding and spend 50 grand or whatever it is. Maybe you do a micro wedding and do it small. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. But I always say there's big three expenses of life. There's housing, there's transportation, and food and beverage. If you do what everybody else does, I have my house, I have my mortgage, I have my cars, that's what it is. I go out, I eat every single day for lunch. You're more than likely going to be broke. In fact, there's a 67% chance you're going to be broke. So what's the bottom line? Don't end up in the 2/3 that are broke.
No.
Do your best to end up in the 10% who are actually killing it. Your job is not to survive, but it is to thrive here in America today. Save that money. Whoa. If you like that one, click right here to watch the full SOSCAST. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.